Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we're here today to talk about, we're going to talk about a couple of weeks of comics because we ended up having a week off, a little unexpectedly. So these are the books that came out on the 15th and 22nd of January.
Yes, we got the flu.
That is true. So there's a lot of books. So we're going to do things a little differently this episode. We're going to be doing just real quick lightning round, bullet points, just the best things to mention, and then a grade, and moving on for like half the books.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to start it off with the final issue of Conan Serpent War. What's cool about this one is you find out that the whole snake thing isn't even the bad guy. It's the snake versus the worm from another reality, so that was kind of cool.
Worm with a Y.
Then Moon Knight got himself some powers by touching a fragment of the moon that was and all the moons that ever will be.
Yes, and there's some good Khonshu wrestling with Set. Yeah. And all the stuff with Khonshu was great and kind of saved this series.
Right, so a little better than a lot of the rest of Serpent War had been.
Right.
And I give it a 6. A high 6.
6, I think, is right. It was entertaining enough. Next up, we're going to talk about issue 5 of Bloodshot. That's by Tim Seeley and Brett Booth. And it's fine. We're just continuing the plot. We got a little bit of backstory on the Psyot girl that Bloodshot wants to save from the military organization.
Yep.
And we got some Bloodshot training and using some new tactical camouflage and going to a Comic-Con where he runs into somebody dressed as Bloodshot. And it's pretty entertaining. Lots of action. I like this issue quite a bit, actually. I'm giving this a 7.
Yeah, nice. I give it a 6.
Cool.
Next up, we're talking about issue 9 of Savage Avengers. This issue is mostly a wizard battle.
Yep. Doom and Strange and Conan versus Kulan Goth.
Yeah. The cool thing happens right at the end when Strange is down. So
right, I forgot about this happened.
Dr. Doom calls in some armor for him, and he becomes like the metal wizard or something.
Yeah, the Iron Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah, this I believe was Doom's armor. Remember when Doom was Iron Man? Like when we were reading that Johnny Storm and the Thing Marvel 2-in-1 book.
Yeah.
This is that armor.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing. I give it a 6.
I think, 6 is right. We've got issue 4 of The Batman's Grave by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, which, more than anything, has confirmed that this apparently is going to be a series of 2-part stories, right, where it's just Batman investigating a crime real quick and then solving the crime in the second issue with some sort of extended fight scene.
Yeah, that's cool.
This
that's
issue,
a good way to do it.
Good art by Brian Hitch, extended issue-long fight scene. It's good stuff. It's very, like, sort of TV show ready Batman.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, and pretty good. I liked it enough. It was a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6 as well. Next up, we got Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. It's some funny stories. They got a Peanuts one.
The Peanuts stuff is good.
Running through the whole thing, coming back to it more and more.
Yeah.
And that's fun. I did have a laugh when it changed the format by not having a whole long title thing on one of the pages, and then it calls back to that later by just putting one down at random in the middle of the story.
And the alien thief girl is the daughter of the scientist that disappeared into the black hole in issue 1.
Right, did not see that coming.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so pretty funny. Lex does some stuff. Pretty good.
What'd you think of Jimmy's new origin of he works for the Daily Planet because he's too rich to need money and and can get good shots of society people because his family has, like, this is all new, this whole thing where it's like the Olsens and the Luthers.
Right, but it really works because that's how he can stay an intern.
Right.
Forever. So, yeah, I thought that was funny, and I thought it was funny when his, is it sister or cousin?
Sister.
His sister wants to drop him off in this town at the end, and everybody's dressed like him, and he's just like, no, not here. Definitely not.
This was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Pretty funny. I give this one a 7.
That one's a 7 for me as well.
Nice.
Moving on to issue 18 of Fantastic Four by Dan Slott. And this story just keeps going. This is our, unless you have any complaints, this is our second to last issue of Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So I give this a 3.
Oh, wow. Okay, I give it a 5.
All right, cool. Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, I just, I thought it was all right.
All right,
cool. I did feel like it was kind of slow, and this wasn't the greatest arc. But, prophecy happened, prophecy came true. You got some fun with Ben Grimm, and Reed looked cool.
Fair enough.
Next up, we got The Question, book 2.
Yep.
And this one is almost entirely a Western.
This is so weird because it seems like, we're just getting the story of a different question.
Yeah, it was interesting,
and
but definitely weird.
And it seems like the former question may have been like a relative of Gotham City serial killer Victor Zsasz.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's some weird stuff. It was interesting that Vic Sage basically didn't appear in this until the very end.
That's true. And this question, he failed his job, and that's what this was about. Yeah,
this was really interesting after the first issue. I was a little let down by this is we're 2/3 done with the story, and that's what the second issue was.
Right. That is exactly the feeling that I had. Like, I really liked that first one with its its mob stuff and
the crime,
his talk show alter ego.
I wonder if the next issue is going to be some sort of future question, just also doing, and it'll be the same cover again. He'll just be wearing like a futuristic question outfit.
Interesting. Maybe.
We'll see.
I give it a 6.
I'm giving it a 5.
All
right, that does it for the lightning round. So I will take us into the longer reviews with issue 87 of Batman by James Tynion IV, and Guillaume March was doing the art on this issue. And that's the main thing I wanted to ask you about, because this guy's a little intense. What do you think of this Riddler?
Oh, definitely. Well, at first I was like, oh my god, what, why? But then I realized he's a question mark, or at least he's becoming more of a question mark.
Oh, gross, you're right.
And yes, then I was extra grossed out.
There's that, and then Penguin is like some sort of crazy berserk monster killer now. Like, this is such the horror version.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, we've got our main plot of Batman has hunted down these 5 mercs who are all going to pull off some sort of kill in Gotham, and them getting caught, they're led by Deathstroke. Of course, this was all part of the plan, and he just has to figure out how it works.
Right, and they're trying to assassinate Bruce Wayne. And
Batman gets to use a new device, which allows him to fire himself out of a railgun.
Right, in his new spider plane.
From his new spider plane, and he has this hilarious ejector seat that has like wing wheels on it, and he's like bobsledding down the street after he's been shot out of the plane. It's a pretty good action sequence.
It's very funny.
It's just a pretty solid issue. The villains all bust out, because this, of course, even though Batman stopped what he thought was the real plan, that was just the distraction from the real plan.
Right, that's true.
And I guess Penguin's going like full Rambo now. All his weapons cracked me up.
Right, and now he's against all of them.
Like, Penguin's going to take out Deathstroke and crew?
That would be hilarious.
I thought this was a pretty entertaining issue. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, I'd also give it a 7.
But it's weird. The art is so weird. March is he has such a distinct style. Everything's very shiny and over the top, and
it is very intense.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Batman: Curse of the White Knight, issue 6. Issue 6, yes. And that is by Sean Murphy and Matt Hollingsworth.
On colors.
Yeah. Right, Sean Murphy's doing the artistry as well.
Yes, he is.
Yes. And yeah, this is a real showdown issue in this one.
Yeah, the escape from Arkham.
Yeah, and Joker's going back and forth between being Jack Napier and being Joker. And Azrael, he's a
beast.
Yeah, he's bringing doom on everybody in his stolen Batman armor.
Yeah, so Batman, I guess, had like an Azrael-style armor that he was designing that Azrael stole when they invaded and blew up the Batcave, and so now Azrael's got his battering, shooting gauntlet armor, and he's just murdering so many guards.
Right, you'd really expect Batman to put in some access codes to his armor.
I know. And like, did Batman design it with these like battering machine guns?
Probably.
Yeah, I guess this version of Batman.
Yeah. He definitely he'll shoot a battering right through a guy's hand. But it's pretty entertaining. The stuff with Harley Quinn is also pretty good in this one.
You know what I like? The stuff with Jason Blood.
Oh yeah, Jason Blood, but he didn't rhyme at all. But he's not in his demon form, so it's okay.
But we did get to see the demon.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
Because of course he's Jason Blood. He's got to walk in front of something reflective.
A mirror, right? So there's two big things in this issue. There's the reveal and the twist. So
yes, the reveal and the twist. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
You like the reveal that Bruce Wayne is actually not a Wayne by blood, and that his family is actually
neither was his
guy?
dad, so it's a moot point,
right?
In my opinion, I think that's that's cool. Why not?
And Joker
forward
and Joker.
And Joker.
Joker dies at the end of this issue.
Oh yeah, he totally dies. Because, it's great. I love that he whipped out his signature really long-barreled gun. And also that he gets shot in the head with it by Harley.
He gets shot kind of in the same way that he gets shot at the beginning of the Morrison run, like through the bottom of the face. But this issue, more than any other issue, made it extremely unclear exactly how the visual depiction of Joker works. Like, is he actually changing skin pigmentation or not when his mentality is changing?
It's not specific. I assume yes. Because, that's what it looks like.
That is sure what it looks like.
Yeah. But, pretty good.
Pretty entertaining. This series it's winding up pretty soon and pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
And 7 is right. Yeah. Okay, next we're going to talk our last Batman book of the night, I think. It's going to be Detective Comics, number 1019. This is another 2-part arc ending by Peter J. Tomasi and Scott Godlewski. And we've got the end of the Norse guys who are killing based on pagan rituals in order to summon a demon.
Yeah, but the demon's just tricking them.
And it turned out, so in this comic, that's when I learned that blood eagles were done through the back. I always thought it was done from the front.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which it makes sense though that it would be the back since it's wings.
Right, gruesome.
So I learned something from this issue about culture and history. And the demon shows up and he's like, we just watch for keywords when people are doing magic-y rituals, and we pretend to be the gods that they're summoning so that they can summon us through, but only so that we can do nasty things to them and then summon the portal again. Yeah, because we don't actually want to be here.
Yeah, exactly. They're not even Norse.
Yeah, it's
hilarious.
That's very Lovecraftian. Many rows of teeth monster coming with tentacles coming out of a portal.
Yeah.
Pretty entertaining. I liked this issue quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like this artist. I'm not familiar with him before this arc, but I like. It kind of reminds me of the animated series a little bit, just how everybody's a little bit flat.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So I give this a 6.
Oh, nice. I give it a 7.
You would.
I liked it. I thought it was great. Next up, we're talking about a Web of Venom tie-in, The Good Son, all about Eddie's son hanging around Norman Osborn. And
Normie Osborn.
Normie, yes, Normie.
Big difference.
It's true. Little Normie. And Normie hears things in his head. And so does Dylan now. He's got a little piece of carnage that he kept.
What an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he has no concept of danger if it's not some huge scary thing that's actively coming out after him.
Right, and I guess he's now overconfident about his ability to control anything symbiote.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that he would keep this from Eddie and Sleeper,
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, Sleeper does a lot in this issue.
Sleeper is the hero of this issue because it's definitely not either of the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, little Eddie, he's being such a punk this entire issue. Like, totally bullying and playing mind games with Normie.
Yeah.
But then it's, of course, revealed that Noel has a grasp over him.
Right, probably through the Carnage symbiote.
Yeah. Probably. But Normie's weird. I mean, little Eddie.
It's Dylan.
Dylan, yes. Little Dylan. He's a weird one.
He's so much more of an asshole in this than he's ever been portrayed as in the actual Venom book that I really am curious about how much this characterization is going to... Like, is it just the Null that's been affecting him? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. But did you read the after story?
I didn't realize there was.
Yeah, the putrefaction of Telkar, which is a little story of...
I missed that.
Sleeper going through space with Telkar in him.
Right.
And he's still alive at this point where you can see his skull and everything, apparently. Like, his heart's still beating and shit.
Telkar's is.
Yes, and it just describes in a lot of detail all of Telkar's bodily fluids, like, starting to ooze out and stuff into Sleeper, and it disgusts him.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
But then, after Telkar finally dies, he spares a moment to think, should I feel bad? This host died because of me. And he's just like, nah, Telkar wasn't anything to me.
Oh.
He blasts away and ends up right at the Clintar homeworld.
So this happened before.
This happened before he came back to Earth.
Ooh, Sleeper. Are you actually working for Null? Ooh,
It's interesting.
Interesting. I don't understand how I missed that. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So, yeah, because of that, I actually give this a 7.
All right, that's fair. All right, well, I'm going to give it a 5
Fair.
for the main story. But what you said sounds cool about the end part.
Yeah. Nice little end story.
So next up, we have got the first issue of The New Guardians of the Galaxy. That's by Al Ewing and drawn by Juan Cabal. And this is a lot better than the Donny Cates Guardians, personally, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the
like
beginning of the Donny Cates Guardians with the whole Thanos is going to be reborn thing, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was okay. That was like an issue or two.
Right, exactly. The whole, like, second half, the extended church plot.
Right, and it took so long to get the Guardians together, all in the same place.
Right.
They're all together from the get-go.
And they're going to be fighting the Greek gods from the new version of Olympus that's tooling around the Marvel Universe, fucking things up.
The Greek gods are such dicks.
They're such assholes, and I should have predicted that when we're fighting Zeus and all them, who was going to end up showing up. And I'm quite pleased to say that I was pleasantly surprised when Hercules showed up.
Oh, yes, Hercules, except I hate his pants.
Yeah, his new suit is not great. This is the new design. It's very space version. I'm sure you'll dislike it even more when you see the top half. But so not only is Hercules in it, but Novar, Marvel Boy, is in it. And he's closer than he's ever been to how he was in the original Morrison series, except for he had to do like a pronouns thing.
He did do a pronouns thing. It was jarring.
But, you know, he doesn't get it. He's an alien. He's trying to fit in, so I get it.
And he's got quite the array of powers.
Yeah, you've never read Marvel Boy, right?
No, I have not.
Marvel Boy has cockroach powers. That's his original thing.
Yikes.
And, his spit is psychedelic. Like, when he was captured, he spat on somebody and they started tripping out so he could escape. And he can shoot his explosive fingernails. And they didn't even mention the white running, where he can focus his intent down so much into running that he runs super effectively.
Oh, that's nice.
And then Pocket Battlefield. Pocket Battlefield, baby. He can generate a space where he decides what the physics are within that area of space.
Right, that's the coolest one.
That's the thing I'm expecting Ewing to end up having a lot of fun with, I hope, because Ewing's a big ideas guy.
Nice.
So, yeah, action-packed. Lots of stuff happens in this issue. We're getting the characters together. Drax is looking like classic Drax.
Yeah.
I don't love Star-Lord's current look.
No.
The slicked back hair is not really working for me.
Agreed.
But overall, very entertaining issue. I liked it a lot. I'm giving this a 7.
I also give it a 7.
All right, take us home with this shit.
Yes. Lastly, we have Venom, The End, by...
this
Warren.
is Adam Warren.
Adam Warren. Yes. And Cruz.
Yeah, I don't know where they have the damn credits on this comic. You can't figure it out at all. There's so many graphics on every page.
Yes.
That Jeffrey Cruz.
Jeffrey Cruz. Yes. This comic book is bonkers.
It's off of every wall.
It's off of every wall. It's mostly from the perspective, or all of from the perspective, of the Venom symbiote. Talking about all the hosts it's ever had.
It's actually only partially from the symbiote's perspective. We find out at the end that the story is being narrated by the machine intelligence of Tony Stark that exists at the end of the final battle.
Right, yes.
Cataloging it, yeah.
That is true. But yeah, it tells the gruesome story of the Venom symbiote trying to keep Eddie alive for as long as possible. And
it's like the opposite of that sleeper story.
Right. But he also decays within the suit, and afterwards the symbiote, it uses its abilities to get more hosts and get all the hosts, and eventually through technology it is able to time travel, and eventually it gets everybody.
Yeah, by the time this story is actually taking place, when we're seeing the battles between the symbiote, because the whole through line of this issue is the fight between biological life and technological life, essentially.
Yeah.
And what's going to win, and the symbiote's mad attempt to save biological life when all the other most powerful forces in the universe seem to be putting forth techno-organic life at best, if not straight tech life.
Right, exactly. And yeah, tech is always winning, and Venom, he seems pretty unkillable.
Yeah, he can, because he's got Wolverine now. And he's got Multiple Man, and the symbiote is eventually like breeding whole planets of like cloned ideal host bodies that are like actual people with names, like that it's created and raised in order to take part in its eternal struggle against the forces of entropy.
Yeah, and it just keeps losing ground. Can't do nothing against all those machine intelligences, especially not Tony Stark.
How does it give itself the ability to like fire cosmic planet destroying abilities?
I don't know. It absorbed like Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom.
Right, yeah. Right, it's the orbits of subatomic particles. Matter itself could not coexist in areas where Venom opened up his own extra-dimensional structure to interact with the mundane fabric of space-time. So yeah, his claws could shoot giant, because basically Venom has hammer space. That's something that happens early in this, remember?
Yes.
The symbiote has like an infinite storehouse of like its attachment to the genetic database.
Yes.
And it can open that quantum area in order to channel an amount of energy that can crack planets.
Right, and that's also why it's so immortal in all of this, even though all the other symbiotes die.
All the other symbiotes die. He gives himself Quicksilver powers so that he can bounce from planet to planet, raining destruction.
Yeah, and all throughout it's rating how well hosts and the symbiote can bond. Eddie being a 5-star and everybody else being 4 or lower.
And with Peter Parker being the lone, was he 1 or 2 stars?
It was 1 star.
Which is weird, because you'd think the symbiote was so obsessed with Peter at first that he would have been a little higher on the compatibility scale.
You'd think so.
But then at the end, it straight pulls a Silver Surfer Black, and the symbiote spawns a microverse of like the new reality where everything is Venom, but it's also the same everything we remember.
Right, yeah, and it lives in that little bit, and the machines decide not to destroy this tiny little bit of organic life.
The start. And it's funny because this is how Iron Man has been appearing even in his own books, because Tony Stark's been dead for years. So it's funny that like the blue hologram head machine intelligence Stark.
Yeah,
it's like the villain / cataloger.
Yeah, it's the perfect face for a villain.
This issue, it's a little silly at times. Sometimes you'd cut to a little bit where the symbiote is where it's doing its remix of genetics, and he's actually remixing on a turntable and doing hey, hits, and coming out and thumbs up, and it's a little wacky, but it kind of helps keep it light when everything else is so over the top, because it could not be more over the top.
It could not.
It would have to go full meta, understanding that it's a comic book and starting to destroy the fabric of comic book reality to get any more.
Right, because it encompasses all of reality within itself. So that you'd have to go outside of reality for it to get any more of that.
So this issue was great. What do you give it?
I give it an 8.
I'm giving it an 8 as well. This is the book of the week for me by far, and so nice. A great one shot. Yeah, the weeks. That's true. All right, so we did it. Thanks, everybody. Sorry again about skipping a week, but we will be back in the near future with even more comic reviews.
And other things.